Hello, everyone. Before I retire for the evening, Spirit gave me a message. Now, if you notice on this channel, a lot of my messages, I always start with good morning because I receive a lot of them in the morning. But every now and then I get a few during the day, and I may get a few at night. But once you make that connection with Spirit, you know the timing. And Spirit will talk to you when he or she, whatever pronoun you choose to use, because Spirit is omnipotent. Spirit is everything. When Spirit speaks to you, it could be at any given time. So you have to keep yourself open. So please don't get into the mindset once you make that connection and start receiving downloads, if you're one of those people, that it's going to happen at a certain time during the day to the point where you shut your mind down other parts of the day and won't be able to receive any messages. You got to be willing to receive them at any given time. And I was on my way home this evening and this just popped into my head. I'm going to title this one, Simple Attention versus Unconditional Love. Simple attention versus unconditional love. Now, the reason for my title is it just popped into my head. Sometimes I reflect on things that happened in my past life and things that happened in other people's lives. Not being negative or anything like that, just thinking. Because sometimes it's good to think about your past life and your current life, because that way you can be thankful for what you already have, what you didn't have in your previous life. You know what I mean? And please don't ask me to say that again because I said that kind of fast. But you get what I'm saying. And in my previous life, I didn't have a full idea, conscious idea of what unconditional love meant. And I'm not talking about parental love. I'm talking about from other people who weren't your parents, other people who weren't related to you, And when you're not fully understanding of unconditional love, sometimes you wind up hurting people for no reason. And you don't know why. Because you didn't have an understanding of what they were trying to give you. And also, I kind of shared a little bit of my background. I had a lot of issues with low self-esteem and everything else, So, simple attention, any type of extra attention, I didn't take it for face value what it was. All it was simple attention. But because I didn't have an idea of unconditional love, I automatically assumed that person's simple attention was love. And that allowed me to be involved in some relationships I didn't need to be involved in. And please excuse the fan, it's getting ready to come on. We're going through a heat wave. And for a lot of you, that's the story. That was your story. For a lot of you, it's still your story. Some of you are older than me and you've been operating in this energy. You automatically assume anybody who gives you any type of extra simple attention, you misconstrue that as unconditional love. And your feelings get into it and you start overthinking, over-involving yourself and just putting a lot of pressure in relationships for no reason. Putting too much of your time and yourself into relationships for no reason. With people who really did not have any intention of going that far with you. And that's a hard lesson that I had to learn. Because whether it was my fault or whether it was the other person's fault, according to the breakup, I always had a chance to reflect and say, what could I have done differently? Not saying that I'm trying to bash myself. But what I'm trying to do is just learn from every interaction that I had. There's nothing wrong with improving yourself. Just don't beat yourself up. Life is growth and change, and we have to roll with those changes. But I realized because of low self-esteem, and that's why a lot of these people do this. If you have low self-esteem, when you start getting a little extra attention from people, for whatever reason, you misconstrue that for stronger feelings than what they have for you. You misconstrue that for love. You misconstrue that for something greater than what it was. And all it was simple attention. That's all it was. You were interesting to them. You were curiosity to them. You appealed to them. And it may last a little while. But don't misconstrue that as unconditional love. And when it's time for them to act on certain things, they either can't follow through, have trouble following through, or don't follow through at all. Simple tension versus unconditional love. People with self-esteem don't know the difference. I was one of them. And when you're in that mind space, you have a tendency to go overboard, a tendency to be too loyal to people who don't deserve it, because you don't have that spirit of discernment to determine who's good for you and who's not, because you're misconstruing extra attention for unconditional love, and it's not. It's just simple extra attention. And attention is fleeting. Ask people that are in show business, and ask people that are in any type of entertainment or sports industry that have the spotlight on them. They can tell you attention is fleeting. People can love you today and hate you tomorrow. All you have to do is say the wrong thing because you're human, or wear the wrong thing because you happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, or you're having a bad day. Somebody got a camera shot of you in a compromising position, not because of the intent, but because you were just in a compromising position. I'm not talking about deliberate acts. I'm talking about just simple mistakes. And the public will dump you. See, that's simple attention. That simple attention is superficial. Simple attention is superficial. Simple attention appeals to the senses. It tickles your brain. We all like to have attention. We all like extra attention. We all like the flattery and everything else. And there are some people who are experts at giving extra attention, especially in relationships, if they have an end goal of getting something out of you. And a lot of these people, that's all they want. They see that you can offer them that one thing that they want, and they figure all they have to do is give you a whole bunch of extra simple attention and make you think that you are the world. And if your self-esteem is not high enough to know the difference between that and unconditional love, you will mistake their attention as unconditional love until things get tough. This is when you find out what they're about. A situation comes up where it gets really, really tough in your life, and you need this person to support you. That's when you find out whether or not love had anything to do with your relationship. See how they act. See what they do. Some of them might tough it out just close to the time that it's over with, because they don't want to give you the impression that they're going to bail right away. But they'll wait till it's over with, and then they'll bail. To me, it's all the same. Oh, okay, well, they got over that. I can go now. When in actuality, they wanted to go while you were going through it. But they didn't want to give you the impression that they were that type of person. But the truth is, they were that type of person. Or maybe they thought they could hang and they couldn't. Maybe they overestimated themselves. I don't know. But see, with you with low self-esteem, you don't see these things. Trying to hang in there. Because you're stuck on that simple extra attention that they're giving you. And some of them use that as a tool to manipulate you into doing things that you would never intend on doing. Will manipulate you into thinking the way that you would never have thought of before they came along. Because they knew that you had low self-esteem. They could smell it. Sought you out. All I have to do is give them a little extra attention. I can get anything I want out of them. See, it doesn't sound so nice right now, does it? Does that sound like somebody who unconditionally loves somebody? Not to me. Sounds kind of nasty, doesn't it? But unfortunately, some people think this way, and they operate this way. And unfortunately, a lot of them get away with it. To an extent. Till it's their turn. And believe you me, these people always have a turn. So if you're one of these people who like to have the extra attention, because maybe you were neglected, maybe it was, maybe you were a late bloomer. In my case, I was a late bloomer. and coming into your own. And it's your turn now. We all have a turn. It's your turn to be in the spotlight and everything else. Don't misconstrue somebody's extra attention that kind of stands out above the crowd as far as giving you everything, so to speak, or what they think is everything to you, as unconditional love, because it may not be. Okay? Unconditional love comes from the heart. It's not just attention. There's certain qualities, integrity, loyalty, involved in unconditional love. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Peace to you.